Today is going to be a very special video where you will see a demo breakdown happening live in real time. And so specifically, this is a session inside the free-flowing hypnosis training that I host twice a month. And in this session, we have Deb here, who is the client, talking about jaw tension. Specifically, you'll hear her talk about it, but her presenting problem was feeling this tension in her jaw. And so this is a physical issue. And what you'll see here is the best visualization technique you will ever come across. And this visualization technique is going to be not just applicable in physical issues such as jaw tension. This type of technique is going to be very useful when it comes to any presenting problem. So if you want results very quickly, in which we were able to help Deb solve her problem in 20-ish minutes with this one, then you best tune in.
I'm curious how it makes you feel when you feel that tension.
Hmm. Yeah. First thing that came to mind was rushed. Um,
So what you're noticing here already is that we don't do any traditional, let's relax our client. Oh, we have a client with tension. Let us do the close your eyes, progressive muscle relaxation. We're not going to do any of that shit here. This is why the session was solved in 20 minutes. And you can see her eyes are open, but at the same time, you can see her eyes look up to her side. This is her way of accessing what? Unconscious information. And so you probably have learned that you need to hypnotize someone or get them relaxed to find unconscious information. In our world, we skip that shit and get straight into the biggest point, which is our client needing to resolve their problem quickly.
especially like trying to keep up with the words, like I might be note taking and I'm trying to keep up with the words. And then I guess if I think about when I'm gardening, it feels like potentially I'm rushed there as well because I'm rushing against the sunset, the losing of the light, which means the mosquitoes come out. So yeah, I think it's got to do with feeling rushed.
So we can see here already, in our world, we have this concept of our problems holding hands with other problems. She initially came in because she was experiencing jaw tension whenever she was note taking, right? And feeling rushed. And she mentioned this a few times already, just within that short clip. So make sure you listen. If you missed that, this means that you have skills that can potentially improve. And so you can tell that there's this theme of feeling rushed, which then is leading to this tension in her jaw. This makes a lot of sense in terms of the nervous system world. We create jaw tension if we are more in the sympathetic fight or flight response. So when she's rushing, right, she's trying to do something, she's trying to mobilize, there's a stress response happening within her body, which then leads to that symptom of jaw tension. And coming back to the point of problems holding hands with other problems, she came initially into the session saying that this symptom is showing up with when she note takes, but also she is now mentioning that it is also happening while she's gardening. This is what I mean by problem solving or problems holding hands with other problems. When we are habitual human beings, this is how our nerve systems work. This is our pattern. And so the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. And she just noticed that this is also happening in other areas of her life. This is why the neurosync method is super duper powerful, because we're not just helping her with one presenting problem, we are eliminating more than one.
What is it about being rushed?
Good question.
Yeah, really good question, that one.
So this is a really good question. Sadie, who is playing the therapist here, her questions so far, if you've noticed, are very fucking simple. right? It is so simple. There's nothing overly hypnotic about it. How do you feel about the jaw tension? What is it about being rushed? It's super duper simple. I don't know why, as practitioners, we're in our head so much with regards to we got to make it fancy and hypnotic. And I know that has a lot to do with how we were trained and that how our voice is what makes our session really good. No, no. You make your session good. So if you're trying to not be yourself in your sessions, if you're trying to overcomplicate things, that makes your sessions longer. And this is where client resistance comes up. This is something that is not really talked about in our world, but the more you are just being with your client, the simpler it is, the more conversational it is. You can hear it is a very lighthearted back and forth between Deb and Sadie here. That's the fucking point, right? You want to be a human being talking to another human being. Why wouldn't you, right? And so Sadie is just talking, and Deb is, going back into her trance here, looking up, because she is accessing unconscious information right now, and how she is doing it is through looking up. And no, we don't need to know what it is. It's her top right, top left. That doesn't matter here. That's way too complicated. We're just allowing our client to find the answer.
What is it about being rushed? Yeah, it feels like heavy. Heavy in my body. Feel like um closed in. Time is closing in on me. Yeah.
What is it about time closing in on you?
One of the During our session here, as I mentioned, this is part of the free flowing hypnosis training that happens twice a month. If you're not in there yet, what the fuck are you doing? If you are committed to results that stand out in your industry, then make an effort to attend, because you get valuable feedback like this. The only job that I had Sadie do within the training and within the session is to first, of course, ask curious questions. And the questions that she formulates are based on what the client talks about. So as you've noticed, Sadie didn't find any outside question, any clean language type question, any question from a 1,000 best coaching transformational questions. The questions that she's formulating are based on what Deb has said. If you make sure that you actually listen to that and see the alignments there. There is nothing new that Sadie is asking. It is all based on Deb. This is the point. This is how you'll feel confident without scripts and techniques, because the client will be your script, the client will be your technique, the client heals themselves. You, as a practitioner, will have nothing better to say than what their unconscious mind is doing. And Deb here is fixing her problem as we speak.
There must be an idea that there's not enough of it.
Not enough time?
Yeah, there must be a belief that there's not enough time. I mean, otherwise, why would I be rushing?
How does that make you feel that there's not enough time?
Yeah, it feels kind of empty inside, like
So also, before we continue, as you've noticed, Deb, who is the client, is doing most of the talking. The practitioner, who's Sadie, isn't talking much. This is the point. If I were to go into your session and eavesdrop and look at your interaction between you and your client, and if I hear you talking more than your client, I'm gonna hold your hand, okay? You're not client-centered. Why the fuck are you talking? Your client is the one who's going to solve, who will be solving their problem. You don't get to talk. Your clients are the spotlight of your session. And so this is exactly why what you'll see next is going to be pretty cool.
I just got like this visualization of like a scoop coming in, and it's like trying as fast as possible to transfer like the water out, into something else, and I just, if I go fast enough, if I'll get it done. That's a really weird visualization. Oh.
And so, as you can see, we have the visualization there of her trying to scoop out the water. Random, right? This is the best visualization you will ever have with your clients. Why? Because it came up organically, it came up naturally. Sadie didn't have to say, Deb, close your eyes and imagine water and scooping out of the water as time flies and you're behind, and then you like, it's so insanely crazy how what we've been taught before is so counterintuitive to the beautiful process that just happened in front of us here. So obviously this is just the beginning. If you want the whole thing and see the resolution of it, definitely join us inside the next free-flowing hypnosis training, because this whole thing, as well as the rest of the feedback that I did, is present there. So comment free flow below to join this high level training that you will never ever see inside any traditional hypnosis and NLP trainings. They don't teach this. But this is the type of skill that is going to be very, very useful for you if you want to become extraordinary in your field. If you want to be a confident practitioner that helps people within your first session, this is the skill that you need. And this is the best visualization, like I mentioned, because it happened organically, right? There was no resistance from Jeff. She was laughing. Just notice how lighthearted of a conversation it is. Like, it doesn't feel that intense. I have originally trained in progression type modalities, and that shit gets heavy and soul sucking. You don't need that to help your client resolve the problem, because a few minutes after this, as this visualization was happening, Deb was able to solve her problem, and she still continued to laugh and be happy and joyful about it. Change work doesn't have to be draining for your energy as a practitioner. This is one of the reasons why practitioners burn out, because they are using overly complicated tools when it can be really just as simple as this, a conversation like this that you can help your clients with, that can completely change their life. And so I hope that this demo showed you something different that you can learn from. Again, if you want the whole thing, comment free flowing hypnosis training below to join this high level training. At this moment in time, this is right now for $0, which I know I'm quite crazy for not charging for this, because this is a training that you should be getting paid because of the value that you will have inside that will make you a better practitioner. So join now before I change my mind. The next one is going to be posted inside that link, which I will also drop. And if you comment free flow below, I will send you the information to sign up as well, which will include this plus many other valuable things that will make you a confident practitioner. Because truth of the matter is, you can make a list of all the NLP trainings and all the binders and all the certifications, but if it won't teach you how to help assess your clients and do something like this and ask very specific questions that get to the root quickly, then you'll still remain confused, unconfident, but that this has nothing to do with you. It's just a missing skill set that you as a practitioner get to use.